Yuki Tsunoda and Carlos Sainz are in similar positions in their driver careers. Both drivers are going up against much more highly regarded drivers and their teammates. Daniel Ricciardo for Yuki Tsunoda and Charles Leclerc for Carlos Sainz. Both are out of a contract at the end of 2024. Both are performing at or above the level of their respective teammates. Daniel Ricciardo is not performing well. At least in the first 3 races, he's not done well at all. Yuki Tsunoda is doing to Daniel Ricciardo what Alex Albon did to Logan Sargent in 2023. Complete whitewash. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, is just proving a point to every single Charles Leclerc, or F1 fan for that matter, that this guy is someone who want on their team. Mr. Consistent is what I'm going to call him, because he has been consistently performing at a top level. Even with injury, even with problems, he's been performing at the highest level. He has the same amount of wins as Charles Leclerc since the time that they've been teammates. Yeah, that's crazy to think that. Both of them have had 3 wins to their names. Not overall. I think Charles Leclerc is on 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken. But that is how it is, right? It's not something you can just gloss over. And the fact of the matter is, Ferrari is dropping Carlos Sainz. They are kind of taking a sidestep to Lewis Hamilton, I would say, which, to be honest, is not something you would say 2 years ago about Carlos Sainz. That leaving Carlos Sainz for Lewis Hamilton is a sidestep. You would never say that. But the fact of the matter is, Carlos Sainz is consistently performing at a level which has put him into the bracket of, on his day, and give him an equal machinery, he could challenge Max Verstappen for a world championship. He's put himself into that group, which is currently being occupied by Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris. But Carlos Sainz was never a part of that group. But now he is. Now Carlos Sainz is part of that group of give him the machinery, he could deliver you a championship. At least the constructors, if not the drivers. So where does that bring Yuki Tsunoda in? Because people are talking about Carlos Sainz because he's leaving, he just won the Australian Grand Prix, that makes everything sense. But why do I think that Yuki Tsunoda is in the same situation? Yuki Tsunoda, in his first season, went up against Pierre Gasly, which, let's be honest, people regard very highly. He got destroyed. People looked down on Yuki for that, because he was inconsistent, he made mistakes. A rookie is allowed to make mistakes, we cut him some slack. Second season, didn't do that well, but did better, a career high of P4. Absolutely incredible. But then when he went up against De Vries, who Helmut Marko just brought in as if he wanted to have someone on the team who performs well one time, and completely destroyed Nick De Vries. Just absolutely. In the first race, the time deficit was 7/10 between Yuki Tsunoda and Nick De Vries. In the qualifying, they both finished. Second race, it was 5/10. Third race, it was 2/10. Okay, improvement, but he never got any closer than 3/4 of Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda brought in majority, if not all of the points, if I remember correctly, of AlphaTauri, which is insane. Of course, Daniel Ricciardo came in halfway through the season. He brought some points in. They came into a fight with Albon for 7th in the championship. But one thing we forget is, after the same amount of races, after the first 3 races, Daniel Ricciardo has been slowing down. Nick De Vries was speeding up, but Daniel Ricciardo is slowing down. The first qualifying was at 2/10. The second race was about 3/10, 4/10. And Australia was a whopping 7/10. Yuki Tsunoda got into Q3 in Australia, which does not bode well for Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, but let's be honest, Daniel Ricciardo always does struggle in the Australian Grand Prix. It's been a fact that has happened to him. He was off the podium way back in his Red Bull days. He was taken off the podium because of technicalities. So we can say it might be a fluke. But you can't say it's a fluke when it's been 3 races and he's been consistently outperforming where we think that car is placed. He's just been up there every single race. The guy knocked out Lewis Hamilton, for God's sake. Well, technically he didn't. It was Lance Stroll that knocked out Lewis Hamilton in Q3 into Q2. But the fact of the matter is, we now regard him more highly, and we are now absolutely considering him for, like, we as viewers are considering him as a potential side shot to the Red Bull seat beside Max Verstappen. But are we sure that that's going to happen? No. Why? Because we all believe Yuki Tsunoda has his peaks, but he has his problems. And the scrutiny of Red Bull is not going to be working in his favor in that. Let's be honest. So, the connection between Red Bull and Carlos Sainz gets thrown around now. The two were apart. Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz were both teammates back in the Toro Rosso days when they both debuted in the same season. People forget that Carlos Sainz is basically a veteran of the sport, just like Max Verstappen. They have equally long careers, but they took some very different paths. Max has been at Red Bull for his entire career. Carlos Sainz has seen many different engines, has gone to many different teams. He's been predominantly at Mercedes-powered cars. He's been at Mercedes, Ferrari, and Renault engines. So he's went from Red Bull or Toro Rosso to Renault to McLaren to Ferrari. And now he could go full circle and go back to Red Bull, or he could go to Audi to stake F1 team. But the problem with that is the adaptability of Carlos Sainz is next level. I mean, we can all agree, right, that Carlos Sainz is more adaptable than people thought him to be. The guy came in to a car, is driving a car that is more suited to his teammate and outperforming his teammate on occasion, or performing close to his teammate. And let's not forget, Charles Leclerc is no slouch. We say Carlos Sainz outperforms Leclerc to such a level that we forget sometimes that the car is made for Leclerc. So imagine if Carlos Sainz's driving style was met with a car. I mean, we would have some fireworks there. We could actually get Carlos Sainz fighting for a world championship. Without a doubt. It could actually happen. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see it happening at either Ferrari, because he's leaving, obviously, or at Red Bull. Red Bull will prioritize the faster driver, which in this case is Max, and he's probably going to be Max until at least 2027. By which time he's gonna have been in the sport for more than 15 years. I think so. But are we sure that there is something there? Or do we expect him to go to Audi or to kick Sauber and do a single season there and then wait for Audi to come in? Because he has Audi ties through his father in World Rally. Wow, I can't speak. But what about Yuki Tsunoda? Does Yuki Tsunoda get the call up to Red Bull? I don't know. I hope so. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you agree with me that both drivers are equally underrated and are absolutely performing at a level where they should be considered as frontrunners for any seat on the grid. I'm being really honest here. I think both could be very good shouts for any front-running seat. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. And yes, I know it's been a long time since I've made a video. I think it's been a month. Just been busy. I hope to have more videos out consistently. Peace out. Get out of here.